Folks, before you even start today's video, pause it and go over to shopwcbs.com and get yourself a world-class Bullshitters t-shirt. We just launched, we have some awesome designs, and we're going to be adding more monthly. We're going to treat the store as a reflection of the channel. We have a great joke on a show, we're going to put it on a shirt. We're also going to make it very interactive. If you buy our beer glass and drink with us, you'll get a shout out. It'll be like drinking with us virtually. So folks, go over to shopwcbs.com, support independent entertainment because the real world entertainment sucks. And now it's time for the video. They say a director is only as good as their last film. Patty Jenkins' last film was Wonder Woman 84. I'm okay with this major Star Wars announcement.
The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
Unless you've been living under a rock, or were recently reanimated at your local Halloween seance, you definitely know Star Wars. It's the classic tale of good and evil as the Rebel Alliance tries to fight the evil Galactic Empire, while we chronicle Luke Skywalker's journey to become a Jedi Knight. It was the greatest story ever told, until Disney came in and ruined it. Since 2015's The Force Awakens, Star Wars has been on a decline. As you see, the box office for The Force Awakens was over $2 billion, but each film in the trilogy made less, and the spin-off stealing Solo. Wait, that's my comic I made. Link in the description below. What I meant to say was Solo, a Star Wars story that to this day is still a massive flop that the fans aren't going to ironically appreciate in 5 to 10 years. It's crap. Actually, all the Disney Star Wars films have sucked to some magnitude, except for Rogue One. That one is the best of the worst. Which do you think was the worst of the Disney Star Wars films? Now, I'm not here to take another trip down memory lane. You can check out all the Star Wars content here on this channel. There's a lot. Let's get some of those videos over 1 million. But after the diminishing returns at the box office, Star Wars jumped to streaming. The Mandalorian changed Star Wars. Some would argue it saved it. As more and more shows were announced, there was one film looming on the horizon, poised to save Star Wars again. Well, good news, folks. It ain't happening anytime soon. The indefinite delay of the upcoming Star Wars film Rogue Squadron is reportedly due to creative differences between Lucasfilm and filmmaker Patty Jenkins. After a mixed response to 2019's Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, the Disney-owned production company has been focusing on creating multiple Star Wars TV series for Disney+. The next of these to hit the streaming service will be The Book of Boba Fett. Despite a shift in direction, multiple Star Wars spin-offs have been proposed in recent years, including a Top Gun-esque fighter pilot action film from Wonder Woman director Patty Jenkins. With an initial release date of December 2023, the film was set to be the first of the franchise directed by a woman. And earlier in the year, it was confirmed that the script was almost complete. However, it was recently announced that Star Wars Rogue Squadron has been indefinitely delayed, with Disney removing it from their release calendar. Now, in the latest edition from the newsletter of the former Hollywood Reporter editor Matthew Baloney reports that the delay is due to creative differences rather than any scheduling conflicts. Baloney suggests the director came into conflict with the studio over the film's script and states that Jenkins is unwilling to dick around. The report also indicates that disagreements between filmmakers and Star Wars studio producers are becoming worrifyingly frequent under the management of Kathleen Kennedy. Check out some of Baloney's comments on the situation below. The real culprit was the dreaded creative differences. Specifically, Jenkins could not agree on the script with Lucasfilm executives. That's not unusual, of course, but it's a laughably recurring problem at Lucasfilm under President Kathleen Kennedy, says agents. Top filmmakers are dying to make Star Wars movies until they sign on and experience the micromanagement and plot point by committee process. Jenkins wasn't willing to dick around, and she has other projects, notably Wonder Woman 3 at Warner Brothers, where she enjoys more creative freedom. When I started making this video, I had forgotten about all the unmade Star Wars projects, like Colin Trevorrow's Episode 9, Josh Trank's Boba Fett film that was canceled the day of Comic-Con, and finally the Benioff and Weiss trilogy. Those were all the announced ones that are shit-canned. All of them. That's it. There's no more. But wait a second. What about the Rian Johnson trilogy? Why is no one talking about that? Where the hell is it? They told us The Last Jedi was so great that this motherfucker would get a sequel. No, he gets a trilogy instead. That's how great the film was. And 4 years later, I'm still waiting. I'm tapping my watch, just like Sonic the Hedgehog. That was a decent film. Check it out if you haven't. All of these unmade Star Wars projects are the fault of one person, Kathleen Kennedy. Since 2012, every bad decision has been hers. She's solely responsible for the failures. She's responsible for changing the Star Wars brand and forcing more female characters and clogging the store toy shelves. She's responsible for allowing The Last Jedi to be made from a first draft. God damn this woman. Creative differences is the culprit here, but if you've been following Star Wars for a minute, you know that creative differences in Star Wars go hand in hand. As soon as Disney bought Lucasfilm, a new trilogy was announced, and it was made clear that new Star Wars movies weren't going to be going away even after that's done. The franchise is here to stay. However, the attempts to bring Star Wars back hasn't come without a series of growing pains. On the Josh Trank Boba Fett film, officially the decision to part ways was chalked up to creative differences. though Trank has also said that he made a decision to walk away. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller on Solo: A Star Wars Story. The most high-profile departure for a Star Wars movie came up in the case of the second anthology film that was planned. In this case, Lucasfilm took the unorthodox approach of parting ways with a director, or in this case, directors, while filming on the Han Solo-led film was still going on. It's not unusual for a director to leave a project before shooting starts, or even after it's done, but in the middle of filming, it's almost unheard of. This means that creative differences between Lucasfilm and Phil Lord and Chris Miller must have been extensive. The stories that came out of the production were that the directors weren't relying much on the script, causing a rift with longtime Star Wars writer Lawrence Kasdan, and that's where the pair were shooting a significant number of takes, most of the shots causing productions to take longer than planned. Though Miller has denied some of that, Ron Howard was brought on to finish the film. Finally, Colin Trevorrow on Star Wars Episode 9. Once again, creative differences were at fault for the change. There were a couple of different reports supposedly revealing why Lucasfilm decided to take on this change. In one, Colin Trevorrow was somebody who was difficult to work with, and the studio simply didn't want to deal with that. In another, Lucasfilm heard Kathleen Kennedy was unimpressed with Trevorrow's script for the movie. Whatever the reason, Star Wars The Force Awakens director J.J. Abrams, somebody who already made one movie with no issues, was brought back to finish the trilogy he started. So it sounds like Kathleen Kennedy doesn't like to deviate from the plot, and it doesn't seem like too many people like these terrible by-committee scripts. So it's the same old Kathleen Kennedy problem. It's her. Even the news has been on her tail for years.
So because as an outsider here, right, so Kathleen Kennedy, the president, for me, I look at this and go, well, she's the problem. She's in the middle of all of this. And I look at then at how many directors she's sidelined. Why would anyone with any kind of credibility want to be involved with the franchise?
I guess Kathleen Kennedy's plans are made of Play-Doh because nothing she's doing has worked. One day they'll teach a class on how to not run a movie franchise, and Kathleen Kennedy will be on the cover of the book. Right before The Force Awakens was released, Kathleen Kennedy got on her soapbox to tell everyone her plans for Star Wars. A female director. October 15th, 2015, Star Wars wants a female director for the franchise, says Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy, the president of Lucasfilm, hopes to appoint a female director to a Star Wars film in the future. Kennedy made an appearance at the Fortune Most Powerful Woman Summit in Washington and discussed the possibility of a female helmer with The Guardian. There's nothing we'd like more than to find a female director for Star Wars, she said. There's an assumption made that people involved should be predominantly men. There are women who are Star Wars fans. That's what's so insane. Now listen to this, folks. This is a little funny. While the directors for the next installment of the main saga have already been found, J.J. Abrams for Episode 7, Rian Johnson for Episode 8, and Colin Trevorrow for Episode 9, Kennedy would love to find the right female director for the Star Wars spin-off film Rogue One, which is being helmed by Gareth Edwards, while an upcoming Star Wars origin film will be directed by Chris Miller and Phil Lord. Josh Trank was set to direct an untitled Star Wars standalone film before exiting the project in June. Kennedy also hit on a declining number of women in positions of power in Hollywood. In a weird way, a few years ago, there were more, Kennedy noted. The number never climbed significantly, but more women were running studios than there are today. The Lucasfilm president said that there were complicated reasons for the lack of female execs and content creators, and there needs to be more focus on nurturing talent. It has a lot to do with opportunity, and that there has to be a concerted effort to create the opportunity, Kennedy said. We need to not go to a filmmaker who's done a movie and expect them to come out and do something the size of Star Wars without having an opportunity to find the movies they can do along the way. Although the plot of Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, has remained closely guarded secret, Kennedy did reveal that a new female character, Rey, played by Daisy Ridley, is extremely significant to the story. Kathleen Kennedy's career is a monument to failure. I guess her desire for a female director is outweighed by her stupidity. Creative differences? Again? Lame excuse. Somebody needs to fire this woman. She's poisonous. So folks, what do you think about the news of Rogue One being delayed indefinitely because of creative decisions? It's nothing new from the land of Star Wars, that galaxy far, far away, but guess what? We got another one. So I'm going to chalk this up to never going to get made. It was a great idea. Loved the games. The second one especially. The third one, we'll talk about it another time. But I was a huge fan. A Top Gun-esque Star Wars film, fighter pilots. Come on, give me Biggs, give me Dak, well, he died. Give me Wedge. Give me a bunch of guys. And a couple women, because there were women pilots in Return of the Jedi, and you know they're going to force that one down your throat. But I'd rather watch a brotherhood of X-Wing pilots taking down the Empire. Whatever Kathleen Kennedy has in store for us with her ideas, her script developments, her additional notes, you can go fuck yourself, Kathleen Kennedy. You suck. So, folks, tell me what you think about Kathleen Kennedy in the comments below. Tell me what you think about Rogue One. Tell me what you think about Disney, Star Wars, and also, what is your favorite Star Wars film? I'd like to know. Mine's the original one. Why? Because it's the best and it tells the most complete story. So folks, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll be back next time with more. In the link, sign up for Wokebusters. It is our next comic. It is 4 guys tasked with taking down the overt political correctness that destroys the world. And it's a paranormal parody of Ghostbusters, so check it out. Link is in the description below. It should go live in about 2 weeks, so make sure you back it. Stealing Solo is a huge success, and we're on to the next one. So folks, thank you for watching. Be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other.